I hope that Europe is going to be great again. Europe is going through a lot of problems, and a lot of it's having to do with immigration.
I am about to reveal the absolutely mental things that you, the British taxpayer, are funding for illegal immigrants.
Our use of AI is killing the planet. Asking ChatGPT to write one email is the equivalent of pouring out an entire water bottle or powering 14 light bulbs.
Ever feel like you can't talk politics anymore without losing a friend or starting a fight? Today it's like either belonging to the extreme left or the radical right. No middle ground, no space to think, just pressure to pick a side. Most people think they can see what others can't. They feel enlightened, even heroic, trapped inside a worldwide built on extreme propaganda. But here's the truth. Both extremes, left and right, have more in common than they like to admit. This is the paradox of extremes. Let's break it down. When we talk about extremism, we're talking about ideologies that don't believe in compromise. They live on the outer edges of the political spectrum, where the world is black and white. Anyone who disagrees is the enemy. Let's look at what each other side believes. The extreme left pushes for total equality. They want to dismantle capitalism, redistribute wealth, and sometimes even eliminate private property. They often support revolutionary ideas like socialism or communism, where the state owns everything and the power is stripped from the elite. And on the other end of the spectrum, we have the extreme right. Focuses on nationalism, tradition, and hierarchy. They believe in protecting a national identity, often at the expense of others. Sometimes it veers into awful terrorism, where dissent isn't just disliked, it's punished. So different message, same goal. Control through ideology. And both extremes are usually anti-democratic, willing to use force or fear to get their way. Let's look at some real-world examples, like the Soviet communism, the left. Promised to a utopia of fairness, and what did they deliver? State control, political purges, and millions imprisoned or killed under Stalin. Then there's Nazi Germany, the extreme right, a deadly mix of racism, nationalism, and dictatorship that led to genocide and world war. Like again, different sides, but the same playbook. Let's fast forward to today, and we're still seeing echoes of it. In the US, the Trump administration brought mainstream conservative closer to the far-right populism, hearing slogans like America First, border wars, attacks on the media, and after losing an election, an outright refusal to accept the result. And some of his supporters even stormed the Capitol. That wasn't just politics. That was ideology turning dangerous. In the UK as well, reform taps into frustration with elites, immigration, and climate policies. It doesn't openly embrace far-right extremism, but the language, the fear, it walks the line. So why are these extreme voices getting even louder? Well, one word. Misinformation. Social media feeds us what we already believe. Algorithms love drama, and anger spreads fast and, facts, unfortunately. You're not seeing both sides, you're seeing what keeps you scrolling. That's called an echo chamber, and it's designed to keep you loyal, not informed. Let's look at two quick examples of how misinformation spreads. First, the extreme left. Seen someone say the world will end in 10 years because of climate change? Climate change is real, 100%, absolutely. But alarmist panic and backfire. It makes people tune out of real science. Now the extreme right. Probably heard this one. Immigrants cause most of the crime. Well, that's not true. In many countries, immigrants commit less crime than native citizens. But fear is powerful, and fear goes viral. Behind it all is the psychology of belief. We hate being wrong, so we surround ourselves with people who will agree with us. That's cognitive dissonance. We also love an us versus them story. That's human nature, but it becomes toxic when politics turn people into enemies. Communities, both online and offline, shape what we believe, and once you're in, it's hard to leave. Your identity gets tied to your beliefs. Questioning them can feel like you're betraying your friends or your tribe. And unfortunately, that's the trap. But online, it gets worse. Echo chambers amplify outrage, and the louder and angrier the more views it gets. It's no wonder people get radicalized without even noticing. Here's the good news. You're not trapped. We don't have to play this game. We can challenge our assumptions. We can listen. We can stay curious. And maybe, just maybe, we can find common ground again.